Hello there, Tyrant here, and I just finished watching Shape of Water. A little late, but I'm glad I was able to watch it. And, well, it was a very well done film. How do I explain it? So, the premise of the movie is we have this mute woman who works at this facility, which acquires this very interesting creature. From the trailers, when I first looked at it, it looked like it was going to be one of those kind of monster rescue movies, and I was like, okay. When I found out who the director for the film was, the director, Guillermo del Toro, I'm like, I really enjoyed his film, so I was really waiting. I was really expecting to catch this film when it came out, but due to illness, I missed a lot of showings, sadly. But I am extremely happy I was able to watch it. The visuals, the cinematography, the score, the music, everything was done so well, and the acting was amazingly good. For a mute character, their body motion has to really play everything, and the character of, if I remember correctly, her name is Elisa. She did a really good job. And the rest of the supporting cast as well. Her best friend / coworker. So let's see, her best friend, coworker, then her male best friend, who also had. There was a lot of interesting sub characters throughout the movie as well. You got the Russian scientist. You got the main antagonist, the head of main security dude and everything. He also did a really good job. He played him well. He was stern. He was forward. He did a real job. The overall premise, it was like late 20s 30s kind of feel, maybe 40s. It just had a wonderful aesthetic. For those who have played the game BioShock, it kind of gave you that wonderful feel of the early games. The one took place in Rapture, but this tale of, surprisingly, a love's tale really took me for a ride. The film was reasonably well paced. I never once thought it fell too much. Every piece had its moments and had its reason. There's very little I could complain about at the moment. After I think about it, I could, but it was I truly enjoyed it. I'm trying to really think. Well, I'll get, maybe once I get to spoilers, I'll think about it. But no, yeah, it was a wonderful film, and I'm glad I got to see it. And sadly, if you guys aren't lucky enough to see it in theaters, I hope you guys are able to at least catch it when it comes out on DVD or it becomes able to stream. It's a wonderful tale just to enjoy and sit down. So big thumbs ups for this. On a scale, I'll start doing scales. It's a lot easier to do it this way. I would give this, out of 10, a 9. Throw a 9 up there, me. 9. I enjoyed it. I was on the edge of my seat at every moment, and I just couldn't stop watching. Okay, we're gonna get started with spoilers. So if you're done with it or if you've seen it, get ready. So, spoiler time. So the premise of the movie is like the early 1900s, 20s and 30s. So there's, interestingly, and reasonably plays racism. What is it? What other? Nah, homophobia, if I remember that correctly. And they play with this a little bit here and there, including people who are disabled. They play with this idea slightly, but they don't force it. It's really good. Because it kind of just, it plays in the background and it does a really good job. The music, the scenes and everything. There's actually a scene where she's daydreaming, and the whole thing turns into this wonderfully black and white like movie of them dancing. Props to the guy who had to play the monster or the thing. Damn, I can only imagine what he had to endure to get into that getup and all the paint and stuff. Because he felt so lifelike and it was reasonably good. But yeah, this whole scene of them dancing in black and white, it felt a little out of place, but it was done well enough where I was okay, I'm enjoying it. It felt like I was watching an old black and white movie. On top of that, a little bit, surprisingly, this is a little bit more graphic than I was expecting for this movie. There are, graphic, I'm gonna say. There are scenes of masturbation, sex. Oh god, there's a lot. There's no subtle jokes. There's a couple here and there, but no, they go straight for it. Okay, it literally in the first few minutes, okay, that tells you what the movie is. Wow. Okay, I know, you know what you're getting yourself into. When the film does a good job with the sign language, I like how they did it. Because I was wondering how they were going to do a mute character when she does sign language, and the captions they used were reasonably well placed, and I didn't feel they were I'm used to reading subtitles, so when the way they were placed actually worked well for me. As storytelling continued, the pace of the movie itself actually ramped up reasonably well, because it felt like there was two climaxes. You had the introduction of all the characters, you had our leads, her everyday life, her friends, the early introduction of the creature. Okay, they're going at it one by one. Then you get the subplot of the Russian spies and everything. Some people might say that that's not needed, but no, it works well because of what he aspires to be, a true scientist. This dude, Dmitri, he's a man of science. He is true to his country, but he's a man of science with this very interesting species. And the ability, when we found out that this thing could could heal things, shit, man, this thing's beastly. Then as we move, we learned that at the end, but anyways, as we continue with the tale, the plot continues. They're experimenting on him. Then they get to the point where okay, we gotta kill this thing and open him up and stuff, and then the rescue mission happens, and it feels like at that point that would be the end of the movie. They rescue him, dump him in the water, and done, right? No, actually, they do this, and that's really nerve-wracking, because it feels like it's the end of the movie. Because, like I said, the pacing, it feels just right, where it's like it's over. What? No, please don't let it be over. And no, it's not over. It continues with an everyday life, and fish sex. Yes, that happens. She falls in love with him, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was I said, it's graphic, but luckily we don't see it. It's all curtain covers and stuff, so whew. But then you get a little bit more into the antagonist, his drive and stuff, and it's done really well. And like I said, the second half or the third, the final act of the movie, oh god, it's relentless, because that moment when Abe is really sick and they need to finally release him to the ocean, and they're at the docks, I honestly, like, when they got shot and they died, it was like, oh my god, is this the end? Really? Wow. Okay. And then the creature just comes back to life, kind of, due to reasons, healing monster powers. Sure, why not? And yeah, like I said, it's hard to explain. It's a movie you need to watch and just enjoy, with its little nuances of just everything. Oh god. But no, yeah, it's it's a wonderful tale, and I'm glad I was able to see it. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Like I said, it's a wonderful movie. So thanks again for watching. Until next time, see ya.